I'm introducing Mike Gough and Don Gough. Now, Mike's background was in aluminium. I'm not sure what in aluminium. I'm assuming you worked in an aluminium.
Yeah, steelworks and aluminium plant.
Steelworks, thank you. And Don's ex-RAF. They joined in 1993 and 1994 respectively. And I'm not reading out why Mike joined, but Don joined for more money. Their best turnover was 195,000.
Wow.
And the best check's £8,000. And if you get a chance and he hasn't told you everything during his talk, ask them how they got 34 front level people and got themselves a cheque for £4,000 just from that. So this couple you really, really want to listen to. The best PSG just now for 5 years, and they got the top new business sales period 6, 7 and 8, top PSG and the millionaire level. They've been to loads of places. Bahamas, can't read the next one, Don, sorry, Florida, Arizona, Portugal, Barcelona, Cyprus and Cairns, Australia. Please give them a great big welcome. It's Mike and Don Gough.
I've been ex-steel worker, ex-aluminium worker. I've moved around a bit with my job, and in 1995 I was widowed, and then by 92 I lost the plot. Didn't want to know the real world, so I jumped off, went back to grade school, did a lab meeting, and couldn't find anything at all. This was 92, nothing available at all, okay? And a friend of mine showed me a catalogue. I already knew he was barking mad, so I told him where to go, and he did. And 3 months later, I still hadn't found a job, and the money was disappearing, so I said I was going to go. Put 25 catalogues out, and quit. And he did something that saved my life, I think. I said, Brian, I've put them out, mate, I'm not getting them back. You know, I'll give you a list, you go and get them. He said, do me a favour, I'm not here. It was like 2 days later, I'm not here, just pick them up, drop them off, not done here. So I picked them up, got 23 pounds 80 in all this. More importantly, my sister came down. I was living in my mum's house, she'd gone, and not gone dead, she moved. Oh, by the way, Dawn always says I've got to apologise in advance. Sorry about that. And I was decorating the house. Pam said, oh, what's this? And I said, oh, it's nothing, I'm checking it in. She said, oh, I'll do this, I'll do this. 6 months later, I'm a gold. 12 months later, I'm a bronze. 12 months after that, she was a bronze. So, hey. Paradigms. Paradigms. Sometimes it's the way we see things that change the way we see things and the way we think. And I love paradigms. For that reason, I love jokes, because every joke makes you see it differently at the end. And I always like to get people in the mood with a paradigm joke. But I've been looking around the room and I've lost all my best jokes. Dawn says, if I tell that one, that one, that one, and that one, she's leaving. But she did say I could tell the one about the captain of the ship. I was actually ex-Virgin Navy, and I sort of relate to it. And there's this captain now, he's walking around the upper decks, around the lifeboats, and all of a sudden he hears a noise coming from a lifeboat. So he jumps up on the railing, pulls back the tarpaulin, and there's a blonde in there. And I was going to say, she's got purple sheets on her, not those wearing purple. Satin sheets, she got a bucket with champagne in it, a little stereo. He said, who the hell are you? She said, oh, I'm a stolen, she said. I'm still on the way to South America. The hell you are? He said, what are you doing here? Where'd you get all this? She said, it's the second mate. He gets me everything I want. Oh, does he? I'll have a word with him. What exactly are you doing for him? He said, oh, you know, she said, he's having me. Captain said, you can see that again. This is the other way friend. You see the way that happened at the end, and that's the same with all jokes, right? Next thing I'm going to do is destroy this talk, because I want to start with something. That's the cleanest joke I know. I wasn't allowed to tell the one about the lady that went into the chemist. and she said, excuse me, young man. She said, do you sell Viagra? And he said, yes, madam, we do. She said, and can you get it over the counter? He said, well, if I take 6. I can't tell that joke. Right, let me just do this. Sorry about this, Lynn. Surfing the heaviest wave in the world. This was a passion of mine when I was a little younger and a little thinner. And the point is that it absorbed a lot of who I was. I was in the steel industry, I had a lot of free time because you just did your job and then you went home. In my case, you went down the beach. So I was doing this as often as you could get there. So surfing the heaviest wave in the world, this was what I dreamed I wanted to do. And this is all I thought about in those days. So surfing the heaviest wave in the world. So this was the start. This is where everybody starts when they're surfing, when they want to surf anything of any size. The point about that is, oh, it's this, isn't it? We'll forget that. The point is, no one can surf when they start, but they get started anyway, and they take it one wave at a time. And this literally is that. Next, they fall off a lot and people laugh. I remember once coming up the beach, carrying bits of my board with a wetsuit that was too tight, and I was sort of trying to hold it like this. A couple of guys were absolutely wetting themselves. Having said that, I took a lager out of a cool box, they stopped. And they said they fall off a lot to get back up quicker with time. It takes a lot of practice, lots of people watch, some actually get on to do it. It may not look impressive, but it feels awesome. See what I'm getting at there? It doesn't matter where you are, it feels awesome. So, slowly they make progress. And this is what progress looks like. Everybody sees the guys, surfing around you, you get your foot like this and all the rest of it. You spend most of your time doing that. So that's the first, if you like, illustrated slide. This is what progress looks like. Progress in life, progress in your job, and more importantly, progress in clean music. This is what progress feels like. I think that was when we were awarded the biggest PSG for 5 years. And no, that was the highest new business sales for the last 3 months or so. That was the run. Notice that Dawn had the same jacket on twice. She was
It's a
mortified.
different jacket. It's
It's not. And she's got a bloody cheek. She wears a daffodil and carries a flag. There's another Welshman there. She's actually English. She goes out of Wales. I've got to fight to get her back in. So building a winning PSC. Now, what this was all about. Don't know, I've been in the business. I got started, and a year later, I'd made gold quite quickly. Do you want to do that again? I'd made gold and was wondering where to go next with it, because sometimes, you sort of, where's my next gold, and all the rest of it. Bottom line is, you don't know what they look like, you don't know where they are, but then one day, this blonde lady walked into a meeting, and she walked up, about halfway, she was late, as been every day since, and she put her handbag down on the floor. I looked straight at her dress and was in love instantly. And in fact, a few months later we got together. Dawn went gold in 12 weeks from a standing start. With 2 little girls, she had a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old, and you didn't have a clue what you were doing, really, did you? You just went out there and did it. And then we got together, and then we just started building. So the big key we're on about here is a winning PSG, a big PSG, and I'll show you what I mean by this. First of all, you decide you're going to build it. There's a lot of talk about width, width, and all the rest of it. I'll tell you what my take on that is. Width is most definitely profit, and depth is most definitely stability. But you can't force depth, and you can affect width. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you can personally sponsor people frontline. You can do it. It's like when you put catalogues out. You put a catalogue out, you can increase it straight away by putting more catalogues out. Another way with catalogues, before you put them out, line them all up against the wall like that and give them a good strong talking to. We find that works. It works about the same as doing that with distributors. Which is why we don't call them distributors. We look for people, they're prospects, we sign them up, they're suspects, and then maybe 3 months later, they're distributors. Because we don't know where they're going. So you decide you're going to build it that way, and then you find out what needs to be done. The plan to review thing, we'll come back to that later. The keep good records thing, what interests me is that people put out catalogues and they know where every catalogue is and what house has bought what and what this and what that and what all the rest of it. And Jane already mentioned we were 34 legs wide in our PSG, just our PSG last period. And that was worth, with a little bit of retail from us, £4,000 before any golds break. So we'll come on to that as well, but you've got to know what's going on there. So you've got to keep good records, not just of where your catalogues are, but where your distributors are, and this sort of thing. We'll come back to that. We talk about achieving the gold standard. We did a presentation on this a couple of months ago. The gold standard, I'm old enough to remember it. It was everything in the financial world was based on gold. And what they were saying, I read around it a lot. Gold, 6,000 years ago, bought the same loaf of bread and wheat and cow as it did 100 years ago. And then the little thing happened. What happened was that countries decided to change to the money standard, if you like. And what happened is that money got devalued. In fact, since the United States introduced money instead of the gold standard, the value of the dollar has gone down by 98%. And we felt that in some ways we needed to bring cleansy back. When Dawn and I started, you could sign people in, okay, we started with 50 around books, but they did something and they got going and they started and did this and they did that. And we had break free for a while and we loved that. Unfortunately, it didn't work for us. I don't know if anybody else got it going. But the gold standard for us is people putting catalogues out on a regular basis and then becoming a distributor who adopts the gold standard. Dawn will talk about that. So winning PSG, what does it mean? On the retail income, don't know if you can see all that there because the colouring slightly changed, but look, £250 a week retail, 25 orders a week gets you £268 every 4 weeks. And once you've done that for a few months, that's hours work. It's not a day's work, it's hours work. 500, so you're talking about people earning up to £2,000 a month on retail. And that's where Clean Easy differs from just about everything else out there. And that's why I think Clean Easy is the gold standard. I was in a company called Amway years and years ago with my late wife. Brilliant. Loved every minute of it. Lost a bloody fortune. Dawn joined in about 1988. She loved it too. Lost even more. But that's not the point. The point is, the system works. Cleaning people have got it to work on a level nobody outside really appreciates. Nobody really appreciates. So that's on just on retail alone. And in fact, if you look in this month's team talk, they've got the top 50 earners in there. And in that top 50, there's a couple in our team who are the top retailers in the UK. The top retailers in the UK are in the top 50 earners in the company. That's insane. And they've got one leg outside of it. You couldn't do that in anything else. Clean is the gold standard. So then what we look at team building. What does it mean? Well, if you look in the company literature, they show you that with 1 in your team, instead of the 268, you earn 305. We always say with 5 in your team, it's 570. So in other words, you're now earning more from your from your team building bonus than your retail bonus. And with 10 in your team, £1,240. That's where the company literature stops. And everybody goes across the stage on 10 wide. However, with 15 in your team, you earn about 1,600. With 20, with 30, £3,000 as a gold distributor. And you might say, well, what about the people in there? What if they want to go gold? Let them. Help them, but don't do it for them. I spoke on the way from starting to get up to gold SED. Dawn and I, we talked to every person that was above us in the plan. Every one of them, and they all said the same thing. We did it on our own. Because guys, to work a PSG of even 10 people, to keep it going, to keep it propped up, to keep it moving, the skills you need to get you to gold, keep you at gold. We found we were putting people in people's team, and the minute we step back, they don't drop back, and then we look back and do it again, and they don't drop back. People have got to do it. I said to Dawn, so when you got started, because she wasn't front line, I said, what did they show you? Nothing. 12 weeks later, she's a gold distributor. Put books out, sign people in. So what I'm saying, and I don't know if you've heard if you know about it, but if you look at a group, Dawn's a woo type person, I got to work that out, please, just I'll write it down. And I worked out that over a year, if you look at your business, a stable business that's going on, that you will earn about £100 a leg, as we call it, £100 for when you're gold, everybody that's front line in your business. So if there's 10 in your business and you're turning over £10,000, £12,000 from royalty bonuses or from distributor bonuses, you earn about 1,200. With 15 in your team, about 1,500. We were 34 wide last period. It's a bit more than that because you've got some people do more than, you end up making 120, 100. And you might say, well, that's a bit selfish. I'll tell you what's selfish. Not leading the way and not earning money and not showing what is possible. That's selfish. Sitting back and waiting for other people to do it instead of getting out there. And I've got down the bottom there, everyone retails £1,000 a period. Now that was happening when Dawn and I got started, and for a few years it stopped. And when Break Free came in, it was a bloody disaster. And courage to Lisa at the back there, who got rid of it, frankly, couldn't have come quick enough. We were seduced by it, and it was a bloody disaster. Everyone, the people in our team started today. We had a phone call yesterday, his first week. What was it? £700. He's going for 18%. He's got 250 free books coming with his next order, and he's ordered more because they've paid for themselves. So I've put £1,000. This is the team, but I reiterate it. There's the team. That, in network marketing terms, is enormous. It's enormous. That means 10 people and you're a gold distributor. When I was in Amway all that time ago, I needed 300. 300. 10. I would argue it's not even network marketing. You know what I'm saying? It's team building. But that's where it starts. I thought she was next. So what I'll do now is sit down, take a break, and introduce an English woman.
I'm going to kill him.
She's not well. More well than me. Who will just take you through a little bit of the way she sees it going on.
Nice to have a mic, you can turn off, Michael.
What?
Okay, let's go to the thing now. So that's my work day,
That's it?
Yeah. I want to tell you about this quite quickly. When I started in the company, I was on my own with 2 children, 5 and 15. So I was, in fact, a single parent. Now, a lot of people in the team have said to me, oh, don't bother with them because they're single parents and, you know, they're not going to have the time and all the rest of it. I think they're the best people in the world to be in the business because they've got a reason, they've got the children has a reason to succeed. And B, you know, at the end of the day, bringing up children gives you the skills to look after people. Anybody agree?
Yeah.
All the women in here do that now. Fantastic. I'm forever an optimist, as you can see. I've got my sunglasses on and I'm in Scotland. But it's a dual purpose, it's holding my hair up. Okay, so as Mike said, I got to the gold distributor level within 3 months, mainly because I was desperate to earn money, went out with the retail, saw that it worked, and thought, crikey, that was easy. You know, it just doing like 50, 60 pounds, and I didn't have to do hardly anything. So I started talking to people at the school gates. And a few people said, oh, what's about then? Because I'm looking for extra cash. So I said, well, I'll get my sponsor to come and tell you. And they didn't come, so I had to tell them. They weren't sure what they joined, but they were very excited leaving, and they had signed the form. So it was good. So then that's how I started team building. And together, as a team, we all cheered each other on, and it started to move forward. Now,
There you are.
I love money, that's very good. Okay, so building your own team. Now, once I got to gold, Mike seemed to get taken interest in me. Seriously, I was at a meeting, that's where I met him, and he's great, these meetings, you meet some lovely people. And basically we got together, we qualified for Portugal, I think it was first.
Yeah.
And then got to Barcelona, by that time we sort of got together as a couple. And he proposed to me, and he did propose. He keeps telling everybody what he said was, will you carry me? Jean Lawrence from your team and said, I want to be a bridesmaid, and that was the end of him. So he did propose. I had an engagement ring, it's all official. At that point, we decided, right, okay, it'd be nice to get married on a sales conference, especially after the managing director stood up and said, well, I can do congratulations. If you both qualify for the Bahamas, we'll pay for the wedding. So it was a done deal as far as I was concerned, and I'm sure what I thought. But this, I think, was Barcelona. That was a fantastic time there. And if you look at the people, just synergy. Oh, I got stuck on this word. Anybody know what synergy means? See if I get it right there, because it's in the presentation a bit later on. But basically, synergy is where if you're in a room with one person, you can kind of get a conversation going. If you're in with 5 people, get a bit of a buzz. Get 60, 70 people, wow, it's electric, don't you think? Yeah? Smiling, tell your face, come on. Okay. Okay, so off we went. We told the managing director we were going to do this. I bought the dress, I was going, my suitcase was packed. Mike said, I haven't qualified. I said, tough, I'm going anyway.
It's true, actually. Yeah.
So he qualified pretty quickly after that. Oh dear, so Bahamas were beautiful. What else have we got there? Dubai, yes. I have said that if he's not going up that tower, I'm going to divorce him. So he's got a reason to go up it.
Or not.
Oh, no. Oh my God. How tall is it?
2,722 feet.
2,700 feet. Anybody fancy going up there to have a look at
No.
the views? I know, isn't he? He's got to go, otherwise he's gone. So what has it meant to us? Well, basically, we've had some lovely houses, some beautiful houses. We've also had, this one, we've been in there for 11 years. 11 years in the same house, oh, fantastic. But how can other people, normal people, get this? I mean, you know, it's amazing, isn't it? And building in PSG, I wasn't working all the time. As you can see, my family's growing. I've now got 3 grandchildren, as well as another child myself, who's now 15. Anybody got any 15-year-olds in the room?
Anybody want a 15-year-old?
They're great today. Don't look at me. Don't you speak to me. Oh my God. So because of that, I went out to work again because I can't stick it. And I'm going to move for you, you can't see. This is Michael growing into the cart. He got really big in Clean Easy. Did anybody notice that? He's got a picture with, what's his name, Jamie Stewart, when he went and talked on, I think it was on the radio. And he was with this jacket, and he was out there, it was massive. And he took one look at that and he thought, oh my God, so what did we do? We got him working for a start, but we also purchased a dog. This dog takes him for a walk twice a week.
Twice a day?
Twice a day. Look, oh, they shouted, love him. Okay, and all along the way, making friends, building your PSG, you're helping them get where they want to be, leading from the front, which is really important, and showing them how to get where they want to be. Basically, you're building friendships. And isn't it lovely to have a team of people that you're friendly with and that you can, go out, have social. I love socials. I have to tell you that. Fab. I love meetings too, unless I'm talking. Right, building a winning PSG. Let's talk about that. That's what people want to know. It's not working.
Yes, it is.
Is it a remote control?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't work.
There's one goal in mind. Oh.
No, back.
What?
She's good with it.
I'm not very good with technology. Michael, come down and do your thing.
Remote control should be working, Michael.
I'll try it.
You pulled it upside down.
You're really... There you are. the gold standard. The gold standard. Don't matter, leave it up. Okay, the gold standard. So what is the gold standard in Clean Easy? Well, basically, it's having a written goal. It's a mindset, isn't it? You've got to want to do it. You've got to have a reason. You have to have written goals. It's pointless if you're not writing things down. 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, get it all down on paper. Have a plan. How do you have a plan? Well, find out what it is you need to do to get where you want to be. And then work backwards and put it into your yearly, monthly activities. Because without activity, nothing happens. So you've got to get the activity in there. I'm a bit of positive as well. Chris Mason Paul once said, it's like sex, nothing happens unless you get really excited. And it's true, when you're talking to people out there, we notice how miserable they all are. Have you noticed when you're walking down the street, just look at people's faces, everybody's miserable. So smile, it's infectious. And then this may talk to you and then talk to them. Have a positive can-do attitude. It will work. Look around the room. It is working for people, so it can work for you. You have to have that mindset. Be excited, be eager to learn. You're all here, so you're actually doing these things. The excitement is brilliant. Get the excitement out there. Be a walker, not a talker. We've all met them. There's lots of people out there that'll talk the talk. We all get excited. Oh, they're going to be really good. Last thing, you should never say that. And what they do is just talk. And then people are very quiet in the room and pass them by. They wonder why. So, be a walker, not a talker. Action.
You know what?
Is that working? Inch by inch is a cinch. When you look at the whole thing, when you've got your plans there and you're looking at it as a whole, if you think, I'm going to do all this, oh my God, you're going to think, oh, and you're going to stop and start. What you need to do is get it down into bite-sized pieces, and each time you reward yourself as you actually hitting your little targets. Retail regularly and use the products. There's nothing like advertising the products that we sell by using them yourself. Friends, family all come to the house, see you using them, and they want to use them too. So make sure you're advertising the products. Make sure you're retailing on a regular basis, because that's the money that's going to help you to build a team, yeah? That's the money you use. Constantly be looking for lookers. Goes without saying, if anybody's got a pulse or breathing out there, they're looking for extra money now because everything's going up, the wages are standing still, and with inflation going up, it means they're going to getting a decrease in wages every month. So they're all looking for that bit of extra money. Now, you can show them how to do that. Promote and attend all the team events, and there's our words in the jive. But it does work, doesn't it? I'm getting a buzz from today already. I am. Come on, you get a buzz? Yeah? I've been drinking. But doesn't it energise you to be around like-minded people? You know, and just talking in the break or talking afterwards as well. You'll gain so much knowledge just from talking to people. You really will be buzzing leaving. And you can't get that buzz anywhere else. Promote internal meetings, give recognition quickly when people in your team actually hit a pen level or get extra catalogues. Make sure you're recognising people for that effort straight away. And accept recognition gracefully. Ooh, I tend to go off the roof. Okay, determination, have guts. I've got what it is. You can, genuine urge to succeed. I wrote it down and I forgot. Be consistent and persistent. You can't beat consistency and consistency. Work on what you need to do and be consistent with it. Be a creature of habit and make sure those habits you're being persistent with are income producing activities that will move you forward. Work the system that you've got. Don't try and change things. People put systems in because they work. Why would you want to change anything? It'd slow you down. Don't change the system. Don't make excuses. We can all do that too. Excuses. Do you want to win money? Do you want to get that plan? Or do you want to make excuses? We can't make excuses when I don't feel like going out and it's raining and stuff like that. Just put my sunglasses on and I'll go. And people think I'm mad. And I am Welsh. But don't make excuses. Get your plans. Get energised. Get out there. Pay the price. Have patience. Do you know, nothing can be achieved without first putting the action in. And too many times I've seen people in our team that have really put some work in, and then because they're not getting instant gratification, and that level or whatever it is they're going for isn't coming straight away, they slow down and stop just as they're reaching the peak and it's going to go. They slow down and stop, and then you've got to start again, haven't you? So, you know, have patience, just keep putting the work in, and never ever give up. Ever give up. Never, because if you give up and it then succeeds, you're going to kill something. Don't do it. Okay. So gold is an activity level, not a pin. Pins are lovely. I do like pins. But it's the activity. So if you want to be the gold standard, it's the activity that you have to put in to be the gold standard that will get you there. Gold is building servicing a customer base. Everyone has to do that. And doing it, putting the orders in on a weekly basis. So you've got that consistency in there. Gold is talking to prospects every week, every day, and when you can, but having a target that you reach every week. Gold is growing the plan and sending info, showing the plan and sending info, whichever you do. Make sure you do it consistently, persistently, have your numbers, find out what works, get in there. Go to sponsoring new distributors every period. One a week. One a week, you'll be rich and famous. That's all that's what I ever did when I first started. But do it consistently, because in doing it consistently, you're actually learning, you're gaining a habit that will pay you for life, but you're also learning as you're working. Gold is talking to your team every day and every week, getting together every once a week as well. So, you know, keep in touch with people, make sure they're okay, and they're, you know, find out what they're doing. Gold is one team event a week, right? If you haven't got one of these, or you haven't got a meeting going on with the bigger team, have your own. Have a sizzle. Make sure every week there's somewhere that your team can come to. Gold is one CD, one MP3, one video a week, and one book every period, because you learn so much. If you turn your car into an office, you know, when you're out there leafleting and put, you know, CD on, listen to it. Your car can be in a university and you can learn as you're doing other things. And you are directly paid for the amount you learn because you can pass that on. So you need to be learning, you need to be reading books, you need to be listening to CDs, MP3s and watching videos. Gold is easy reach every day. Does everybody put it on easy reach? Easy reach every day, get in the habit, listening to your messages. Send one out at least once a week, put a message on. Find something nice. So there's I put one on, mad Welsh lady came to see us today. Mike said she's English. You won't get up to speed straight away. Just understand the patience you have to have patience. No one gets up to speed straight away. Just be consistent. When you're doing this, when you're getting all these things done, when you're consistent with it, you're at the gold standard. You will go gold. It's just having patience there. And you haven't got the pin yet, you soon will. Thank you. Can I pass back to Michael now? Thank you.
Well done.
Goal is an activity level, not a pin. Too many people get to the goal level, the goal pin, and then they stop. They stop what they were doing to get there. You keep doing it. And you do it consistently, because what tends to happen, you get people, they do, oh, they put up 5,000 leaflets this week, and they do this, and then they stop, and then they do that. This consistency wins the prize every time. So, very quick, that's probably going way over. Plan. So, to get to that goal level, with your system, you find out what needs to be done, how much retail. Oh, by the way, retail, we still put catalogs out. There are times when I want to blow my brains out because of it, but we still put catalogs out. We put 80 catalogs out once a fortnight, and we've got 3 rounds, and that produces that much money for us. But we do still do it. And one of the reasons we still do it is because the bloody systems are changing over time, they're getting improved. But if you're not on there doing it, you don't, and you're telling somebody what to do, and they say, well, that stopped last year. How many prospects or leads, wherever you're doing, whether you're sending info, or you're going and showing, or whether you're talking to friends, or Facebook and all that sort of thing. How many info packs, how many appointments, what team events, can't overemphasize, easy reach. If we all put one message on a week, we'd be inundated. We'd be inundated. And if you can't find anything good to say once a week, join that way. Sorry about that, I shouldn't talk about what MP3s, there's some great ones out there, your upline will tell you. And then, keep good records. Can't overemphasize this. There's no way you put 200 books out, 300 books out, 400 books out, not write down where they are. You've got to keep good records. The same is true when you're working with distributors, when you're sponsoring people. We have a little 8x5 card, we call it a prospect profile. It's got their name, address, and whenever we speak to them and what we said, a couple of notes, and then when we're speaking to them next. And when they join, we cross out prospect and put suspect, and then we carry on with the discussion, and then in a little file box. And if we can phone them in 3 days, we put them in 3 days' time, and we do that. And we keep in touch with people. We don't necessarily speak. Some people we speak to every day, some people we speak to every week, some people won't speak to us. There's people in our group in there 9, 10 years we haven't heard from, but they're still, you see what I mean? They're getting what they want. They don't, it's whatever. So keep good records on all that. Catalogs in, catalogs out, orders in, control payments to clean easy. And make sure you know where you are. We've got a thing we call balance to zero, and every week we say to people, look, this is what your account's at, this is the money you've paid in and hasn't cleared yet, this is the money you're about to pay in, these are the returns that have got to clear, and here's the products that you've got to deliver, maybe there's 20 quid to it. Add all that up, it should be the same as the total you owe. Clear your account like that every week. You'll never have a problem. Do it the other way, and you'll want to go gold, and you'll be 500, 700 short to go gold and go to Dubai, and you won't be able to put the bloody orders through your account because you didn't balance to zero. If you're not there now, take a few months to get there, do it right. That's what we teach people. Prospects, leads, calls, appointments, it's everything. You've got to keep tabs on everything. Now, in every, if there's, well, one of the questions I asked, how many people here work with their partner? How many people work on their own? They're lucky ones. Dawn and I work together on our own. We haven't worked together for 15 years, almost since the last divorce. Dawn is what I, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's putters and leavers. I'm a putter. I come in, I put my keys on the hook. Dawn comes in, she leaves them wherever they land. She's the same with cars, children, dogs. So I'm the organiser. Has to be done. And you'll find that if you're working on your own, you're a bit of both. Nature has a way of compensating. Right, I want to finish this quickly now. What did I say I was going to do? So you say to yourself, what did I say? What did I actually do? Am I on target? Then readjust, then work the business 52 weeks a year. That is, now this is the key.
You don't need to rush, you've got plenty of time. Just,
Have I really?
Yes, you've
Do you
got,
want another joke?
you've got a good
No, I won't
minute.
tell you that.
You've got 10 minutes left.
10 minutes?
Yeah,
So I
wow.
can tell them about the 3
Yeah, you
SEs.
can.
No, I'm fabulous. 3 Eskimos. They're talking about how cold it is up in Lapland, up in Iceland. Talking about how cold it is. They're sitting in a bar drinking, and they said, look, enough of this, let's figure it out. They said, let's figure it out. So they go across the yard and they go to the first Eskimo's igloo, and they open the door, and he walks in, and he takes, there's a pot of water boiling on the stove, he takes it and he throws it like that, and as the water hits the deck, it freezes, and there's the saucepan at the top. He said, now that's cold. Second Eskimo says, you've got draft proofing. He said, can't see my place. So they go outside, and the rain, and the snow's coming down, it's dropped 5 degrees, and they walk across. I've got to do the clean version, Don, okay? Yes. And they go into the second Eskimo, he says, watch this. And he walks across, like that, sneezes, and there's all this spray comes out, turns to snow, and slowly drops to the floor. See me after for the doing version. And he said, no, that's cold. So the Eskimo says, you must have a little meeting. They go out, the snow's coming down, the wind's horizontal, everything, minus 50. They go across to the igloo, and as they open the door, this cold blast comes out, and they go, oh, that's it, you win. He says, no, you've got to see this. So they go across to the, and he pulls back a sealskin blanket, sorry, the wind is and he pulls it back, and right in the middle is this brown sting. He goes across to it, and he starts picking at the corner, and he pulls it out, and he walks across to the fire, and he throws it in the fire. And as they're in the flames, it goes, he said, no, that's cold. The dirty version's better. Anyway, so, 52 weeks a year. This is the key. This is the key. Honestly, you get this right, you will never look back. 52, it's a 52-week business. And almost nothing that we know we've made up. It's Jackie White that talks about this. This is taken from a thing by Ed Lobo where he describes it. So there's 100% effort. And that line is what the average person does. They say, I've got a week, I'll do it on Wednesday, I'll do it on, and their effort level, so this is 100% and their effort level drops. And towards the end of the week, they get back to where sort of, sorry, that's month, and they get back, that's if they're working monthly, sorry about that. And they get back over the month, they can see they're coming close to 18 or 21 or gold, and they get back to where they should be. That's over the 4 weeks. But unfortunately, all that area there is lost activity and lost income. It's lost money. So what you do is set yourself weekly targets. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you tend to keep up a little bit more. There's a general lethargy in the world that takes us all on, and life gets in the way, and kids get in the way. Anybody want a 15-year-old girl? And it sort of gets in the way a bit, and you slow down. But when it's only weekly, when it's weekly targets, then instead of all this, it's only that part. You see what I'm getting at? So you've not lost as much. You've lost a lot there, not as much. Now, doing that, you'll find that you'll keep up. One of the things we do, whatever leaflets, whatever cards, whatever shop ads we're putting out, we put in a box and it goes in the car. Don't take the pile, I take the pile. And it stays in the car. I jump in the car, it's there, it's down in the footpath. That's where it goes. And we work Friday to Thursday, and if it's still there on bloody Wednesday, they have to go out, end off. Because that's my job. My job is, this is what I do. I don't put catalogues out every other Friday. She puts them out on her own. We try doing it together, and the relate, the marital people, they told us not to. We always killed one another. Because whatever we were going to do, Don always wants to put another 2 out. So she does that. On a Monday then, so that's on a Friday, on a Monday we go to 5:15 and we pick them up, and we're in the pub by 7:45. And a packet of peanuts. And the bandmate always says the same thing, won't eat it out tonight. And that's what we do. And that's the only, more or less the only time I drink is I have a pint every fortnight. Then on a Tuesday I go out, there's probably about 10, 15 books out there, I pick those up. And then on the Thursday we spend, sometimes I do it, sometimes Dawn does it. And sometimes we even get a few of the products from left over from last week on the Monday as well. That's the retail sorted out. Then on top of that, I've got to get, we personally, we go see people, so I've got to sit in front of, 5 people a week. I actually have 5 appointments, so I end up seeing 4 because one forgot, or was an idiot, or whatever. So I see 4, 1's a complete idiot, 2 say yes, 1 starts. And that's what I do. Sometimes the idiot starts. What can you do? You know what I mean? But that's it. If I do that, the rest of my time is my own. Now, we were working out the other day. We've seen all this stuff on the radio and telly about what do they call it, the minimum wage. Even the name is disdaining the minimum wage. Well, I said to them, look at this. I just worked out that last month, period 10 ended for us last week, and during the 2 weeks ago, but the last 4 weeks of our pay thing, Dawn and I would have had to have worked 950 hours to earn what we did on minimum wage. That's insane. And people look at this and say, I'm looking for something with a bit of security. Are you mad? Are you stupid? Can't you see it? So what do you say? Keep all of the numbers just in case. Listen, you can't push string. You just can't. So you go out, the cat, it's like you put the cat out, you bring him back in, you get orders. You could try not to, but it doesn't work. We tried. We give a medal to anybody. Oh, I put my 250 books out, I got them all back in, I didn't get a single order. You liar. Oh, really? It's not possible. And it's the same if you send info and you do the right amount, or you go see and you do the right amount. It's impossible not to bring people into the business. End of story. And nowadays, guys, as Don said, if they've got a pulse, if they breathe, they are in 52-week challenge. So what it says here is get started, get going, get to goal. Goal is the thing you can do. I once said to somebody, I don't know how to break goals. And he thought I was joking. I don't. But I know how to find people that can. And they have to do it. I'll show them what to do, I'll lead the way, I'll show them what we do, but I can't do it. If I do it, as soon as I step back, they don't go anymore. And believe me, in 20 years we've had a few. Get on a conference. Get on a foreign conference. And I did say, will you carry me?
You didn't.
I always say to people, I say the same every time I do my present, I say, very, very well, and I say, will you carry me? And then the company paid for the wedding and I've been paying ever since. And every bloke laughs. And never look back. That's the key. Never, ever look back. I'm not saying burn all bridges and pack your job in second week. I'm saying never look back. Because you ain't ever going to find anything like this again, I'm telling you now. And we are approached by people every other week. And you just look at them and you say, yeah, I tell you what, I'm not interested in this one. Give me a call when you join the next one. They never get that. They never get that. But the point is, this is the place, you're in the right place at the right time. John Oxford, I was talking to him after the last conference, and he said the management in place now is awesome, the leadership is awesome, the products are coming. Guys, unbelievable. But I just want to leave you with a little poem. You might have heard this, you might think you've heard this, and it says the following. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging, it's all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to laugh, but you have to sigh. When life is pressing you down a bit, stop bloody moaning and get on with it. Thank you very much.